Greetings here, and if you're not a caveman, then you probably know about the upcoming Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag Remake. Almost everyone in the world knows about its making, aside from Ubisoft who haven't officially confirmed it. The game's voice actor, the Ubisoft employees, and some trusted and reliable leakers have all been putting the word. But we're not going to talk about that because we have been hearing it for the past 2 years. We know it's in development. But what we're going to talk about is its success, with my honest and factual opinion, obviously. So beginning with the most important point, the game's developers. All of the major AC games have been developed by some major Ubisoft studios, like Odyssey was developed by Ubisoft Quebec, Valhalla, and the original Black Flag was developed by Montreal. But this game in particular is reportedly being developed by Ubisoft Singapore. Does this name ring any bell to you? Well, of course not, because they have developed the most famous game of 2024 known as Skull and Bones. And I don't have to tell you about its success because it's the worst game of the year. It really shat upon the legacy of AC4 by using those mechanics and delivering a game which was half finished. It had no ground combat and completely lacked all the elements of a successful game, and surprisingly is still receiving updates. So I decided to do a little bit of research to see their past projects, and I found out that Skull and Bones was the first major AAA title. Before that, they did work on some major AC games, but only as side developers. They were responsible for developing assets and linear challenges, and they worked on some major Ubisoft titles, including two of the best Assassin's Creed games, including AC2 and Origins. But don't get your hopes up yet because they did not develop those games. They only worked on some sections of those games, which means that when they were given their own solo project, they fumbled. This does mean that graphics will be amazing for this game, but then again, graphics don't make a game perfect. The story, the gameplay, and the enjoyability factor does. And by the looks of it, I don't think we'll be getting that from Ubisoft Singapore specifically. Aside from the developers, some leaks that I personally read suggested some things which many fans won't like. The game will have a menu and system pretty similar to the RPG games. We will have save game at any time option. Now this doesn't mean that the game will be RPG-like, but this does mean that it will take place on the same template which we're used to see. Which made me and a lot of the fans worried because during the time of AC Mirage, I also got my hopes up like this, exactly. I thought the game will be completely different from the RPG games. It will be like Unity or Syndicate, or will completely feel like a different game. But in reality, it was just AC Valhalla with a new character, new map, some new animations, and some tweaks here and there. Then comes the changes to the storyline. A remake means that the game's core storyline will be similar with some changes. The original AC4 had a lot of its moments, but it also lacked some things which people forgot. And let me break those things for you. Throughout the entirety of AC4, we played as Edward without him being the assassin, and he became one in the very end. In Remake, although I want things to be a bit different, but I'm worried that since, as I mentioned before, the game is being developed by Ubisoft Singapore and possibly they will have their own creative team, I don't think that they will do justice with the storyline as well. There are a few things that they can definitely add, like they can expand upon his adventures in England, and they can also show his death in the form of a DLC. There's a lot of possibility there because Edward's story is rich but not thoroughly explored in the game. Much of the stories of Assassin's Creed which are actually phenomenal were explored in the comics, and it's high time to bring those stories into games. So keeping it short and precise, do I really think it will deliver? To be honest, I'm only 40% sure, because the minus 60% of it comes from its development team. If this game was being developed by Ubisoft Bordeaux, I would have been 100% satisfied because they worked on Mirage on a shorter budget and the game turned out to be a blast in terms of gameplay. And if they would have given that team the budget for Assassin's Creed 4 Remake, without a doubt, they would have succeeded. But there's still a hope. Maybe they learn from their past mistakes, or maybe they're working in coordination with the original developers so that they don't fumble the story up. In the end, I would just say that Assassin's Creed 4 is a childhood memory of many Assassin's Creed fans and gamers overall, and if they change some things which will not be perceived well by the fans, I think the game will flop and so will Ubisoft. They are already in a bad financial condition, although Shadows held, but they need a few more hits. So I think they're playing safe and not announcing it right now just because of this reason. But make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and also do tell me your feature that you want to see in the remake. And that sums up this video. I'll see you again next time. Till then, take care and goodbye.